Hey guys, this is Cam315 and I'm back with another video. And this is your season preview for week 7 Saints versus Bears matchup. So yeah, it's been a whole week since I've made a Chicago Bears video. So yeah, man, is it going to finally or Bears football is finally back after coming off the bye week and after that disgusting loss against the Raiders. The Bears go into Week 7 to play the Saints, and this is one of the next few games where it can make or break our season, Chicago Bear fans. And I'm being perfectly honest. This next slate of games isn't going to be easy, but one game at a time. And one of the games now we have to play, especially tomorrow, is against the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be in Chicago, so that will give us home field advantage. So yeah, um, this game I'm gonna go into really a few things, and then yeah, so one, I'll just say this: in my opinion, from last year, I felt like the Bears were the only team capable of beating the Saints. Now you can say the Rams, but the Rams got lucky off a stupid penalty. Anyways, yeah. So we play the Saints this week, and it is a must win from various aspects, really for two differences. One, to keep our race in the NFC North strong. And two, the Saints are going to be down three of their best players on the team, which is one, Drew Brees, two, Alvin Kamara, and Jared Cook is the third one. And those two got ruled out yesterday or Thursday. So they will not be playing, which is a huge advantage to the Bears. So that means, especially, which I'm going to segue into the defense, they need to focus on a game plan around Michael Thomas. Um, Still, I think Michael Thomas will do some things and stuff like that. The question is, we need to limit what Michael Thomas can do. Um, One, I'm not comfortable because again, um, I don't know if I can make this point across, but I am not a fan of our cornerbacks. I think I know in the last couple of weeks I've been highly critical of Kyle Fuller because he's been really bad when it comes to really covers this last couple of weeks and stuff like that. So, yeah. Um, so we may not be able to stop Michael Thomas, but if we can limit to what Michael Thomas can do and just do our end on the other side of the ball, where that means, holding Ted Ginn Jr. to stuff to, necessary yards and stuff like that, we really got to focus in, get pressure on Teddy Bridgewater, and limit what Michael Thomas can do. And it's also good that Alvin Kamara is not playing in this game because he won't be able to line up as a receiver, nor he'll be that back coming out of the flats. So yeah, it's going to be a good it will be a good thing if the defense actually shows up tomorrow. If the defense gives the same performance they gave up against the London or in London against the Raiders, we're going to lose again. We can ill afford to have another team run the ball on us again like that, and I refuse to see that happen again. So one of my key points for the defense: stop the damn run. Um, you know, Listen, the Bears defensive line got embarrassed. Khalil Mack and the boys got embarrassed. If you ask me, if you checked out my review 2 weeks ago, I said that was arguably Khalil Mack's worst game as a Bears. Or no, it was his worst game as a Bear and stuff like that. Um, we're also going to be down a lot defensive lineman and Akeem Hicks. He was placed on IR with his arm injury, and he will probably not return until possibly until week 14. But they're saying his targeted return date will be week 15 against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. So these next couple of games, Bilal Nichols, who will be coming back, and or he's listed as questionable, but I think he'll play. And Roy Robertson Harris, guys who fill in are really and altogether the guys who fill in Akeem Hicks' position. They need to really step up and do their job, and get pressure like that like what happened against the Vikings. I'm not too sure how good the O line for the Saints is, but I know if we can get pressure on Teddy Bridgewater and make him feel unsettled, we can beat him. We have played Bridgewater in the past when he was on the Minnesota Vikings. It's been so long, so I can't really gauge of. I forgot how good he did against us, but we have played Teddy Bridgewater before. But like I said, the defense, especially the defensive line, but as a whole, the defense needs to step up. You had 2 weeks. You had a bye week to think about the loss or the butt whipping you guys were handed to you guys. And now you got this week to prepare. So the Bears should be mentally focused because especially the defensive side of the ball, they need to know the stakes at this hands, especially if they give another pathetic performance again. Because right now we're not looking too good. And if we lose this game and drop down to 3-3, things could go from bad to worse, and that's the last thing we need. So, anyways, from the standpoint of the defense, I need them to step up and play the game. It's going to be a pretty chilly one out there. I checked the high in Chicago. I think it's be like mid 50s something. So weather will play a little bit of a factor, especially against the Saints, which is a predominantly dome team. So the defense, they're just going to have to bring the fire. And plus with that home crowd, the defense should have the inspiration to be able to, step it up and play and actually get a quality win against a pretty decent team, or really a good team. Because for the longest time, the Bears have been ridiculed for not really beating anybody. So this could be the step for, beating someone. Now shifting to the offensive side of the ball, it's looking like Trubisky will probably be getting the go to play tomorrow. So again, with my standpoints of Trubisky, start him off slow. Do some simple dink and dunk passes, whether it's 5-yard out, hitches, slants, stuff like that, and then open the playbook for him, Nagy. Another thing for Trubisky, please, I know it's going to be his first game back in 2 weeks. Please don't limit the turnovers. If you throw a pick, okay, just make sure it's not in a key situation. Preferably, I would not want him to throw any picks, nor fumble the ball, and have any turnovers, and have a pretty clean day. So, yeah. And also, to make sure he stays healthy, which goes into the O-line, which, look, the O-line, it has been terrible this entire year. Especially when in my review I made against the Raiders, I was very critical of this O-line, especially guys like Charles Leno Jr. If I see Charles Leno Jr. get another hands to the face penalty, I'm going to be pretty much upset to the point I might have to be saying, look, if something's going on, you might have to bench him, Nagy. Now, Kyle Long, he's also out with injury, and he got put on IR. In my opinion, Kyle Long has not played really well this season, and at this point, I think he's damaged goods. I think the moment he was put on the IR, I think that will probably 2 weeks ago will probably be the last time we'll see Kyle Long in a Bears jersey. That's just my personal opinion. I think the time has come for us to go into a different direction and, stock up on linemen. Kyle Long did us some good things, but one, the dude's always been getting hurt ever since he joined the team. And then this year, he hasn't really played well. He's probably been, next to Charles Leno, the worst offensive lineman on the team. It was a tie between those two. But now that, Kyle Long's on IR, right now, Charles Leno Jr. is basically the worst lineman. And the crazy thing is, it's the backside for a quarterback. So, I don't know what's going on with Charles Leno. We paid him this year, and apparently he's sleepwalking through this season. So hopefully he can pick up his play this game because we need him. Otherwise, he's going to lose his job. Or you might need to try something out. You might need to use somebody. So yeah, another person who's coming off injury, who's coming back, is going to be Taylor Gabriel. Taylor Gabriel will be coming back from his concussion, so that's another key asset we're going to have in the passing game to help Trubisky, stuff like that. And as well as it goes to the passing game, the one thing I did like from Chase Daniels is he did pass the ball to a few different receivers. That's the one thing I like. Especially Anthony Miller. I would like to see Anthony Miller get the ball a little bit more. He arguably had his, if not had his best game in London 2 weeks ago against the Raiders, and he was pretty amazing in that game. He had some pretty crazy good catches and stuff like that. So I want to see more out of him. Allen Robinson, just keep doing what you're doing. Allen Robinson has been phenomenal this season. He's been basically one of the top receivers in the NFC North as a whole. And, it's going to be, interesting to see where how he'll play this game because obviously Marcus Lattimore will obviously be defending him. So, he's probably gonna be trailing him the entire game with and stuff like that. So it might be a little hard for him to get receptions. And it could be like the Denver Broncos game. So if any case where you have to might possibly line him up in the slot position, you might have to do that if you want him to get away from Marcus Lattimore and stuff like that. So yeah, and I would say another area where we can probably weaken the defense of the Saints or pick them apart. I would say is cornerback Eli Apple. Eli Apple is good, but he isn't all that. If you know what I'm saying. I think personally he's probably one of their worst defenders on the team because he just does not have good coverage whatsoever. He never had good cover. He wasn't a good corner in New York back when he was with the New York Giants, and his reputation is still somewhat the same. And he's been, I guess, the one of the weakest, really one of the weak links of the defense. So yeah. Another reason why I also say the O line needs to play better is because we got Cameron Jordan coming into the house, and I won't be shocked if they line up Cameron Jordan, against Charles Leno, like I just said, and 3 weeks ago against the Vikings, Everson Griffin made a fool out of Charles Leno. So we're gonna see if the O line can limit to what Charles Leno can do. And another thing, like I said, going back to the O line, they need to get some hands on their block to create holes for David Montgomery. We need to run the ball. If we have a mix of running the ball and passing the ball, it only helps out Trubisky a lot more because then you can open up the play action pass and make Trubisky see the field a lot more. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, a very tough grind game. I do see us winning this game because the Saints are down some very key players, which helps us in tomorrow's game. Like I said, there's many question marks. If Trubisky plays, will he play decent to good? Will the offensive line play good? Will the defense show up tomorrow afternoon? Because desperately after that performance, they need to show up because that's just not the Bears defense we all know, and stuff like that. Um, Now let's get back to tough, gritty Bears defense where we stop the run and then we get pressure on that quarterback. That's what the Bears need to get back to. And I know Chuck Pagano, he probably worked his butt off the last 2 weeks to make sure, that that's going to happen. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this Bears Saints game. And like the Raiders game, it's really isn't a win that needs to happen. Or in this situation, it's a must win because again, you're coming off a win where you took a team for granted and stuff like that. Time and time again, you got to beat these teams, and I think next week we got the Chargers, which is another winnable game. Look, we got to finish this game, win this game, move on, and then we're good. We're in a better position. 4-2 will be better than going 3-3. So again, we'll take any win despite how messy or dirty it can get, and we'll see how the Bears will do tomorrow afternoon. So other than that, I'll probably be seeing you guys tomorrow for my Bears recap to get my thoughts on the game. I'm also probably gonna have to make sure I keep my cool even if we do lose pretty badly or in a horrible fashion. But I'm gonna try not to be so emotionally invested into a loss, and I'm gonna try to really break down and digest, what I saw on the field and what I think needs to be improved. It's going to be a big week, and it's a must win for the Bears because if the Bears don't win this game, um, they're sitting literally basically fourth place in the NFC North, which is completely opposite from what they were last year. Um, so yeah, now we're gonna see what the Bears can do when there's a must-win situation and there is adversity applied to it. Arguably, they'll probably work their butts off these last 2 weeks, and we're gonna see if that 2 weeks off will have paid off because you know obviously it did. I think last season after we lost to the Dolphins, we went on the bye. So let's see if it will work again. So other than that, if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment in the comment section, leave a comment on what you think the Bears need to do this game or do for this game and this week and stuff like that. So other than that, that's it. And then if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, that's Cam. This has been Cam for 15. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for your Chicago Bears recap. Until then, peace.